Hi, second graders. Today we are doing the deep dive for Module 3, Lesson 26. I'm going to start by rereading a couple paragraphs from our book, Separate is Never Equal, on page 25. We are going to be listening for the word improve. On the first day, Mr. Kent, the superintendent of the Garden Grove district, was questioned. He said that he had sent children to the Mexican school to help them improve their English. That's a lie, thought Sylvia. Her English was as good as the English of any of the children at the Westminster School. Let's look at that sentence with the word improve. He said that he sent children to the Mexican school to help them improve their English. What part of speech is the word improve? Is it a word? Is it a verb or is it a noun? This is an action word, so it's a verb. You can improve something, so it's an action. We are looking for a word that you could take out, improve, take it out. What other word could you pop into place? Could we say, he said that he sent children to the Mexican school to help them correct their English or to make their English better? What other clues give us information about the word improve? On page 25, it says that Sylvia thought that her English did not need to improve because it was already just as good as any of the other children. That kind of gives us a hint as to what improve means. It also says to help them. That's another hint. So improve means to make better. So we looked at what part of speech improve is. We said it's a verb. We thought about a word or phrase that we could substitute in the sentence and asked ourselves, does this make sense? And we thought about what was happening in the story. We also looked for clues around the word in the text. Let's try this again with another word. We're going to look at the word rejected. I'm going to read the rest of page 25, and I'll start where I just left off. That is a lie, thought Sylvia. Her English was as good as the English of any of the children at the Westminster School. Do you give the children any tests? Asked Mr. Marcus. Mr. Kent claimed he did. We do so by talking to them. That is another lie, Sylvia wanted to yell. No one had questioned her. They rejected her from the Westminster School without asking her a thing. So we're looking at the word rejected next. Is rejected a noun or a verb? It's another verb. It's an action word. When we were listening to the sentence, I'll read it again. No one had questioned her. They rejected her from the Westminster School without asking her a thing. So that means they wouldn't let her in, or they denied her. They refused to let her go to Westminster School without asking her a thing. Let's look at one more word, and the word is convince. This time I'm going to read from page 18 in our book. I want you to listen for the word convince. One day, a truck driver overheard Mr. Mendez trying to convince a worker to sign his petition. You know, said the truck driver, you could file a lawsuit. Convince. Let's use those skills that we just used with the two other words. What part of speech is it? Is it a noun, a person, place, or thing? Is it an action word, so a verb? It is an action word. What other word could we put in place of convince? We could maybe say Mr. Mendez was trying to persuade or to get a worker to sign his petition, or to influence a worker to sign his petition. So that brings us to our definitions with our words. So convince does mean to persuade or try to get someone to do something, to cause someone to believe or accept something. So in your notebooks, we are going to add these words with their definition. So I'm going to write what they mean next to it. So we have our word And then we have synonyms. So synonyms are words that mean the same thing. So improve and correct mean the same thing. Reject and refuse or deny mean the same thing. Convince and persuade mean the same thing. But in our notebooks, we are going to write what each of these words mean. So I'm going to get my notebook out. And you can open your notebook to the next blank page. Our first word is improve. I'm going to make this smaller. Write the word improve. And improve means to make better. Then we had reject. And that means to refuse. Then we had convince, which means to cause someone to believe. Okay, when you are done writing those 3 words and what they mean, you will be done with the deep dive. Don't forget to take a picture and add it to your